Hello and welcome to my channel. I just wanted to pop in here really quickly and make a video all about how I water block my crochet. So I have a pretty simple water blocking process. I tried to take all of the additional complications out of the process, and I'm going to show you how to water block without needing any of the special tools like blocking boards or anything like that. So before I dive into blocking my crochet, I will first determine whether or not I need to block it, because it does take a little bit of time to water block, and if I can go without it, I typically do. Most of my crochet I just make with 100% acrylic yarn, and I typically make big pieces like sweaters. I don't have a lot of details, and things like this that's 100% acrylic I have found responds better to steaming than to water blocking, and it also goes a lot faster. So if you're working with 100% acrylic or a very plastic orientated yarn and you're making these big pieces that aren't overly detailed, I would recommend steaming the piece instead, because the plastic of the yarn reacts better to the hot steam than it does to water blocking. But if you are working with a blended yarn that is not 100% acrylic, or if your project has a lot of small details, then I would recommend water blocking. 100% cotton and 100% wool yarn are great candidates for water blocking, but if you are working with wool yarn, do make sure that the yarn is labeled as machine washable, otherwise you are running the risk of shrinking your project. If you're not sure if your yarn is good for water blocking, you can always just search up the exact blend of yarn that you're using and see what people are saying online about it, but generally any kind of yarn does work for water blocking. Even 100% acrylic works fine, it just doesn't work as well as it would if you steam it. The next thing that I will do before I start water blocking is I will try on the crochet and see if there's anything that I want to alter. I do try to make my crochet to fit perfectly before blocking it, because although blocking is great for helping the crochet to fit better, it is not magic and you will not be able to alter entire aspects of the crochet. So I'm very careful to make sure I have a perfect fit of my crochet, and I'm not relying on the blocking to completely alter and perfectly fit the crochet to my body. I instead make sure it fits nicely before I block it, and the blocking is just like the cherry on top of what is already a good crochet piece. But sometimes there are little things that need to be altered, like sometimes the sleeves are a little bit too short, or the torso is a little bit too tight, or I want the collar to lay in a different manner. And so I will try on my crochet first and just see if there's anything that I want to alter, and then I will just keep a mental or a written note of those things, so that way I remember when I am laying out the piece to dry that I maybe want to bring the sleeves down, make them a little bit longer, or I want to alter the collar a little bit. So now we are actually ready to begin water blocking. So what I will do is I will just take my crochet piece and then place it in some kind of bowl or container, and then I fill up that container with warm water until the crochet is completely submerged. And now you want to let the crochet soak in the water for at least 20 minutes. I will typically let it soak for more like 2 to 3 hours. If you are working with a plastic yarn like acrylic, or even a blended yarn that has some plastic blended into it, you do want to let that soak for closer to an hour, if not 2 hours. This way you are ensuring that the yarn has soaked up all of the water that it possibly can. So after 20 minutes to a couple of hours, I will then take the piece out of the water and I'll just hold it above the bowl for a while and let it just drip any extra water into the bowl. The most important thing here is that whatever you do not twist, wring out, or squeeze the crochet in any way. Just gently hold it in your hands and let any of that excess water drip down into the bowl, but do not wring it out, do not squeeze it, do not twist it, do not pull on or alter the crochet in any way. Just hold it softly in your hands. And once the crochet is not dripping water everywhere, I will then just lay it flat on a bath towel, and I will roll that towel up very tightly to help squeeze out any of the excess water. This is how we can properly or safely wring out the crochet piece without actually twisting or ruining the stitches as you would if you were to wring it out by hand. Then I will lay a towel, sometimes 2 towels depending on how big the piece is, out on top of either a carpet, or if it's nice outside, on top of the ground. You will need something under the towel that the pins can kind of grab onto, which is why I say to put it over a carpet or the ground. That way you can just jab the pins right into the carpet. If you only have hardwood floors, then you could do 2 layers of towels, like place a towel on top of the other one. That way you have a little bit of extra fabric to actually pin into. Or if you wanted to get fancy with it, you could go buy a foam blocking board or a play mat instead, but that is absolutely not necessary for blocking. You can definitely just work with a carpet, or if it's nice outside, you can can just work right on the ground. So once you have laid out the towels, we are now just organizing the piece and letting it dry in whatever shape we want it to be once it's done drying. So I use a bunch of sewing pins to hold my crochet in place. You can get these really cheap at craft stores or at Walmart, but if you don't have any and you still want to block your crochet, it won't have the best results, but you can just use heavy objects and sort of pull the crochet and then place something like a book or a heavy jar or something on top of the crochet. But again, it won't have the same perfect detailed results as you will get if you use sewing pins to be able to actually alter all of these parts of the crochet. So I lay my crochet out flat on top of the towel. If I'm working with something with sleeves, I will lay the sleeves all the way out to the sides. Everything should just be perfectly flat on the towels. And then I will begin pinning the crochet to the towel. And as I mentioned in the start of this video, typically I'm not trying to change or alter the size or the fit of the crochet. I'm just trying to change the way it sits on my body and the tension of the stitches. So I often will not pull my crochet taut as I am pinning it. I will just simply lay my crochet flat and then I'll just lightly, very lightly tug on it just to make sure that there's no wrinkles and then pin it down. But if you're trying to actually make the crochet fit bigger or the sleeves to be longer, then whatever parts of the crochet you want to be bigger, you want to actually pull on that part of the crochet and then pin it as it's in that stretched out position, so that way when it dries it has a looser fit. But if you are happy with the fit of the crochet before you start water blocking it, then do not pull the crochet, otherwise the fit will be way too big. I did this on accident with one of my pieces. I pulled all the crochet taut one of the first times I water blocked, and the sleeves are now down to almost my fingertips when at first they were at my wrist. So the amount of pins that you use is really up to you. I will typically go all along the edges of the crochet, so when I have it laid flat, I'll pin all along the sides and the bottom and the top of whatever I've made. And then if there's any really little details that I want to make sure fit a certain way, I will pin those down as well. As you can see with the piece that I'm water blocking for this video, there are so many little details in this crochet right in the center. So after I have finished pinning all along the sides of the crochet, I am then going in and I am pinning a lot of the details in the center to make sure that that sort of doily lace design will lay flat and won't bunch up as I'm wearing this top. If I am water blocking a shirt, I will often spend a lot of extra time and extra pins on the collar just to make sure it fits nicely and it won't bunch up when I'm wearing it. But you really can't pin the crochet too much. The only thing is just to be careful that you're not stretching your crochet in places that you don't want it to be stretched. Other than that, you can add as many pins as you want and it will not ruin the crochet. In fact, the more you add, kind of the better. So then once you have your piece laid out and pinned exactly how you want it to be, then you just have to trust that it's going to dry perfectly and just leave it alone. I accidentally left this for almost 4 days, so it is definitely completely dry now, so I'm just going to start removing all of the pins. You want to make sure that the crochet has dried completely before you unpin it or move it in any way, and the amount of time that's going to take really just depends on the climate, the kind of yarn you used, and how big your project is. In the summer, I will often block my pieces outside, and then it only takes about a day, but in the winter, it can take up to like 2 or 3 days for it to dry perfectly. And once it is completely dry, you can then remove all of the pins, and that's all there is to it. Now your crochet is blocked. You can try it on, make sure you like the way it fits. I personally have never blocked the same crochet piece twice. Like I never decided I didn't like the way something fits and then decided to try blocking it again. But I would imagine that if you aren't happy with the fit of the crochet, that you could block it a second time. I will say though that it is quite difficult to shrink crochet, so if you have stretched it too far and you are hoping to bring it back, there's really not a good way to do that. So be careful when you are stretching your crochet that you don't overdo it. And that's all I've got for you. That is exactly how I water block my own crochet pieces. It has worked out great for me so far. If you have any questions, then feel free to leave those in the comments down below, or if you have any additional insight or advice, also leave that in the comments down below so we can all help each other out and learn how to crochet better. Also, if you have any questions in general about crochet, then feel free to leave those in the comments as well. That way I can make another video like this answering some of those questions. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you found it to be helpful. If you did find it to be helpful, then please give this video a like. And if you like crochet advice such as this video or crochet tutorials, then please consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for doing so, and I hope you have a wonderful couple of days until I see you again with another crochet video. Until then, goodbye.